I'm a fraudster, and I'm going to scare the living daylights out of more than 1 in 5 of you. Your online password is...
Welcome to the second episode of Coffee with Venu. The topic for this discussion is cyber safety and its relevance to the lockdown. I am joined today by Steve Phillips, a former BBC journalist and an award-winning cyber awareness guru.
Hi Venu.
Manoj Pillai, a senior Supreme Court lawyer and cyber law expert.
Hi Venu.
Nandu Govindankutty, who is a thought leader in the space of cyber security and resilience.
Hi Venu.
Before we do a deep dive, let's see some of the stats that are alarming and the direct impact of lockdown.
Today's digital world has a dark side. Because everyday things like shopping, banking, and even browsing online can expose personal information and make people vulnerable to cybercriminals. More than 850 million people in 16 countries were victims of cybercrime in the last year alone. Mobile ransomware attacks went up by 33%. 86% of adults may have put their information at risk using public Wi-Fi. And there's a victim of identity theft every 2 seconds.
This period of lockdown has witnessed an exponential increase in cyber scams. Google reported that it has been blocking 18 million coronavirus scam emails every day. Some of the scams look genuine and incredibly compelling, but are serious malware attacks which causes harm to your computer or steal your personal information or just fundamentally disrupt your business. Forcing people indoors, especially the elderly, during the lockdown has resulted in a spike of first-time internet users, and for many, fear of touching currency notes or visiting a bank has also resulted in more people using digital payments. This is the fertile ground for the nasty cyber criminals.
So Steve, what do you mean by phishing? And how can we avoid being victims?
So phishing is an email which pretends to be from an authoritative source such as the bank, the taxman or a regulator or maybe an official company, but it is in fact fake. As well as better spelling and grammar, these criminals have improved the way they look with logos that seem authentic and official phone numbers. But the principle is the same. They want you to click on a link contained in the email, and they want to take you to a fake website where you run the risk of giving away your financial details. Alternatively, you expose your computer to rogue software that helps the conmen steal your name, your address, bank details, and other personal information. So, if you receive an unexpected email or one that you've no idea where it's from, just don't open it. Delete it. Never click on a link or open an attachment. Some of the most sophisticated attacks start from a simple phishing email, but it's not just over email. You may get a text on your phone. They may even call you.
What is social engineering?
So the definition of social engineering is the psychological manipulation of people so that they get you to perform actions or divulge confidential information. Now, fraudsters are usually looking for the victim to give up sensitive information like login details, or even maybe try to trick the victim into carrying out a fraudulent payment themselves. So we always make things a lot easier for fraudsters by giving away too much information on social media about you or your family or even your holiday.
What day is it?
It's my birthday!
It's good to share. But check you have the right privacy settings. Or someone can make a lot of money from being you.
Terry got a new car. Terry took a vacation to Paris. Terry bought an incredibly expensive piece of modern art. Only problem is, this is Terry. Millions of children's identities have already been compromised.
Manoj, why is it so difficult to catch these cyber criminals and prosecute them?
Venu, for cyber criminals to be prosecuted, there are 5 obstacles I would say. Firstly, better reporting by the victims and be prepared to follow up with the law enforcement agencies and before the court of law. Secondly, unlike traditional crime, in most cases, cyber criminals tend to operate from a different country or region, so jurisdiction becomes a challenge. Thirdly, cyber forensic should be able to provide with bulletproof evidence that are acceptable by court of law. Fourthly, lawmakers across the globe should come forward in signing more number of extradition treaties to tackle cyber crimes committed on virtual platform. Finally, cyber law is relatively new and not as mature as the centuries-old traditional law, and with a changing landscape needs to evolve faster. Cybercrime is not going anywhere. In fact, it's going to be an even bigger problem for our society. So, if you are an individual or an organization, the attack being small or big, if you see it, report it.
Nandu, now tell me, what can we do to be cyber safe?
My answer is simple. Stop, think and act. Protect yourself from being scammed with a healthy dose of skepticism whenever you see incredible offers. Ask yourself, how real could these discounts be? If they're too big to believe, they're probably fake. Always examine the web addresses carefully and compare it with the official ones. Look online to see if others have expressed similar concerns and ask yourself if some of the images look altered. Another important area is permissions. Did you know that many of your apps are capable of accessing your phone's microphone, camera, calendar, contacts, your social media feeds, and guess what? Even sending emails on your behalf. Some of this is necessary. WhatsApp needs access to your contacts, camera, microphone. Similar for Uber with your GPS info. But you will be surprised with apps like a radio channel or a mobile game which accesses a lot more than you can imagine. Go to your settings now and disable permissions that are unnecessary. Next is about public Wi-Fi. Avoid them as much as possible. Cyber criminals are smart, and no matter how good you think you're protected, the public internet is an easy way to hack. The Wi-Fi connections which appear legitimate gets redirected and intercepted by hackers. This is called man-in-the-middle attack. If you still choose to surf, download a VPN from your app store, which can minimize the chances to be hacked. Now this needs a lot more attention. Bullies unfortunately have been around forever, but technology now gives them a whole new platform for their actions. Cyberbullying is real. Keep an eye out for children and what they do online. Parental control apps help monitor and restrict what children do online. Lastly, make sure to have robust passwords. A weak password can be hacked in milliseconds. While everyone knows about passwords, fewer people know about passphrases like "apples are in demand" are a lot stronger than you think, as they're long, use capital letters and symbols. Remember, spaces and punctuations are symbols too. 3 simple reminders. 1. Change your passwords frequently and do not share them. 2. Never write your username and password together on the same piece of paper. 3. You could lose your mobile phone or your server could get corrupted. Always back up your important information. If you still think none of this will impact you, did you know 3 billion records in Yahoo were breached, 49 million in Instagram, 117 million for LinkedIn.
The short answer from all this discussion is that cyber is a jungle and we need to be cautious whilst there. I have provided below some useful links on cyber security for reference. Thank you for watching. Let's all be cyber safe. Prevention is always better than cure. So better to be safe than sorry.